How to cure perfectionism and self-criticism. To cure perfectionism, drop the idea of perfection. Fuck perfection. Why do I say this? Well, humans are imperfect. What makes humans beautiful is the fact that they're imperfect. Is the fact that those humans will die someday. Those humans have flaws, right? We all have flaws. So to cure self-criticism, stop looking for this idea of perfection. Stop looking in perfection in others. Stop looking in perfection in anything. When you stop looking for perfection, you start accepting your flaws and the flaws in the people around you and in the things around you. You stop putting a label on things and judging things for what you see. You start seeing what you're seeing just as it is. You're looking at what is with your eyes without judging it, without looking for the stupid little spots or flaws on it. Through those eyes, you can learn to see the beauty in the imperfections. Because as soon as you start being perfect, you stop being human. You stop being human. And once you stop being human, just people kind of look at it and like, I don't really relate, like, what the fuck, man? Like, the fact that it's imperfect makes it better. It makes it more relatable. It makes you more relatable. If your work is imperfect, if your conversation skills are imperfect, when you go and pick up a girl and talk to a girl and you tell her, hey, listen, I'm kind of shy, but like I want to talk to you, and you're kind of like looking down, you're not exactly looking at her. Sure, maybe it's better to look at her straight in the eye and be confident, but maybe you can't do that. And if you can't do that, and you accept that fact, then perhaps, then probably she will still connect with you better. Your audience will connect with you better. Perfection is not a tangible reality. Get back to reality. Get back to it. It's not out there. It's not in there. Perfection doesn't exist. Oh, God is perfection, whatever. All right, sure, your woo-woo stuff. Sure, it's perfect. But in the tangible world, there's no woo-woo shit to be perfect, right? Like, what is around us? It's not perfect. Oh yeah, the God inside of us. We're God, that's perfect. Yeah, whatever, that's perfect. But who gives a shit? Like, we're not perfect. Fuck, stop being perfect. Like, look, after every fucking 30 seconds, like, you don't see this on camera because I'm actually cutting every fucking time, but actually I have to fucking grab my fucking phone, look at the notes in my fucking, about this video, like, oh, perfectionism? Yeah, like, yeah, oh, yo, those ideas, like, like, I have to fucking look at my phone to remember, because I'm not perfect. I can't fucking remember all these things. I can riff like fucking, there's some guys, public speakers, that can just talk for like 5 hours and like, with no material. Me, I fucking need that material. I'm not perfect. So I fucking have to look at it, and I don't even know what my next point is. Yeah, fucking perfectionism is a, what is it saying? Yeah, perfectionism disguises itself as a beautiful thing, as a quality, right? Maybe in high school, they told you, oh, dude, you're looking for a job? When your future boss asks you, what is your character flaw? Tell them, I'm a perfectionist. Like, what the fuck is this generalization of perfectionism? The thing with that is we see it as a virtue. And they tell you, yeah, say perfectionism because it's a backhanded compliment to yourself, right? It's sort of a compliment, but not really. No, dude, it's not a compliment. Perfectionism is an affliction. It destroys you from the inside. It rots you. It paralyzes you. It stunts your growth. It makes sure that you don't progress on the path. It's an illusion of progress. It's an illusion of having attention to detail. Sure, you're having attention to detail, but they're not the right details. It's a neurotic chase to grasp onto something that is just not there. It's neurotic, trying to chase after something that's just not tangible. So you're setting yourself up for failure. Do you know what perfectionism actually is? Let me tell you right now. Perfectionism, self-criticism is fear. That's it. Perfectionism is fear. Fear of criticism, fear of doing bad work. Why? Because of that criticism. Fear of failure, fear of letting other people down, fear of letting yourself down, fear of not living in accordance to your value standards, whatever shit. Fear of being abandoned, fear of being unloved, right? That's the most deepest rooted fear. If you're a perfectionist and you're really self-critical, maybe, perhaps just maybe, it's because your parents put a lot of expectations on you. Or someone else just put a lot of expectations on you. So then you put a lot of expectations on yourself. And what that does is you put those same expectations in people, in other things, and it manifests not only in yourself, but it manifests in your environment too. You're looking for it in. And it's like this insidious critical thing where even you're looking at perfection in your friends, perfection in your friends, and you never find it. All your friends, they all have those like massive flaws about them. Some things they do is just annoying and you're like, fuck, why are none of my friends perfect? Why are all my friends fucked up? And you beat yourself up. And that manifestation of you hating your friends and your environment, that's just you hating yourself. And it manifests in your own work as procrastination, paralyzing, laziness. That's what it is. That's what laziness is. It's just, it comes from this paralysis of, often it comes from perfectionism, often it comes from just being a fucking lazy shit, whatever. But a lot of it is perfectionism. You're afraid to realize, to face the truth, to realize that you're not as good as you thought you were, to realize that it needs a lot more work, to realize that you have a lot more to work on, to realize that, fuck, my work is not perfect. You're afraid to face your work head on and realize that it's not what you thought it was. It's not as good as you thought it was. You don't want to approach that girl because you're thinking, oh, I'm not confident enough. I'm not ready enough. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Perfectionism, self-criticism. That's all it is. You're trying to perfect yourself while you're not perfect yet. It's impossible to reach it. But for those that are still clinging on to that mentality, the only hope you have is on that road to perfection. To reach that perfection, even if it's unreachable, you have to go through mistakes, right? If you want to hang on to that paradigm. But I want to invite you to drop that paradigm, to tell yourself perfection doesn't exist. And then from that paradigm, that perfection is just not there, then you can learn to go through life and live life the way you want it. Live life with no restraints, with no self-judgment, no self-limitations, and be able to put out more work. By doing this, you're overcoming your frustrations that usually come with it, your anxieties about what other people will think, your rigidity and your closed-mindedness will just open up. By letting go of perfectionism, all of a sudden you have more freedom in your work, more freedom to express yourself, more open-minded. You're flexible, your identity is flexible. You welcome everything and anything. By welcoming everything and anything, then you can transcend those self-limiting boundaries that you put on yourself. And all of a sudden, you can just start doing the real fucking work correctly. Now, one thing about standards, some people are like, well, you know what? The reason I'm a perfectionist is because I have high standards. I want my standards to be lived. I want to live through my standards. I want to have the highest standards because my standards define my level of success, right? That's what they believe. But actually, standards can just become an excuse. Standards can just become another way of limiting yourself, telling yourself that, oh, you know what, I'm not gonna do anything until I reach that level. I'm not gonna finish my work until it's up there. I'm not gonna take action until I'm up there. Oh, I'm not gonna create. I'm not gonna start my novel. I'm not gonna start my film. I'm not gonna start my whatever until I'm there. See, it's always waiting in the future. The standards are future based. That one day I'll be there. One day I'll reach that point. It's your ego telling you, well, man, I deserve this. It's this false sense of entitlement, false sense of, I believe I deserve this. It's your narcissistic self telling you, I fucking deserve this. You know, telling yourself you deserve that success without having worked for it, then you're just gonna grow complacent and grow in illusions, thinking that you're up there. Thinking that, oh, I have those standards, man, and in the future, I'll be entitled. In the future, man, I'll have it. This entitlement is just stunting your growth. For most people, it's stunting us. We have to drop it. It's a neurotic chase into something that's unattainable. Instead of using it as inspiration, right, you have high standards and you reach them. And it's supposed to inspire, not paralyze. If your standards are paralyzing you, those are not good standards. Lower them a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not saying be standards of a lazy fuck. Yes, I'm not saying you don't have standards. No, I'm saying sure, have standards. But those standards should be inspiring and mobilizing you to take action, not paralyzing you. If those standards are paralyzing you because you're telling yourself, oh, I'm gonna be a fucking millionaire in like 1 year, I'm the fucking best. And it's paralyzing you from doing anything because you think any business you'll put out will not be worth that $1 million, then I'm sorry, but those fucking standards are stupid. Drop them. Standards be like, you know what, sure, $1 million, like I wanna reach that point, but I'm just gonna fucking start off with doing my first YouTube video. I'm just gonna start off with doing my first product launch, my first whatever thing, right? And then you can move up. Standards, they should inspire. That's it. Another thing with self-criticism and perfectionism, you have to be careful with comparisons. If you're a perfectionist, you probably see other people outside as perfect in some way. So you're trying to be perfect like them. Or maybe you think that everyone else is shit at what they do, so you want to be better than them. So you want to be that perfect guy, that like perfect woman that like does this amazing thing that no one can compete. And that's your drive, right? To be better than the rest. Or to live up to everyone else that's perfect, right? If you look on everyone's image on social media, you think everyone's perfect. You want to overcome that. You want to overcome that. Stop comparing yourself to others. It's insidious. It'll fucking rot you. Understand that no one really knows what the fuck they're doing. They think they know, right? Because they've been doing it for years. Do you think most self-development gurus on the internet know what the fuck they're doing? Not really. Do you think most spiritual gurus, they know exactly what they're talking about? Not exactly. Why do they use all those abstract words? They don't even know how to, we don't even know how to explain it to you guys sometimes. You think we know what the fuck we're doing? No. As a matter of fact, as I'm recording this video, I don't even know where the fuck this point is leading to. But somehow I'm saying some point that's seems to be leading somewhere, but I don't even know where that's leading me to. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. No one fucking knows. So who gives a fuck? Just start. Fucking start. I want to tell you a few stories about my own journey for curing perfectionism. I still have it. I'm still wrestling through it right now. But slowly but surely, I'm slowly starting to overcome it. It took me a long time. And I'll explain to you why. Actually, you know, if you watch my previous videos in my channel, my very first experimental documentary, it's called Insidious. It's like a 10-minute film. It took me about 4 to 5 months to make. 4 to 5 months. That's half a year, almost half a year, right? Why? Because I was fine-tuning it and fine-tuning it and fine-tuning it and fine-tuning it. This festival video called Flow, it's about 30K views right now, if I believe. I shot this video in the summer and it took me until, what, like February, March to release it? It took me over 8 months for a fucking video. It doesn't take that long for a 3-minute video. Second documentary film, Discard, it took me a few weeks, maybe like 4 weeks, 1 month, something like that. It was a lot shorter. And my latest documentary, the self-inflicted documentary, took me 5 days to make. 5 days. What the fuck? My first one took me 4 to 5 months, and this one took me 5 days. This is literally like 100 times less time for the same amount of length of work. What was the difference there? The first ones, I was trying to craft the perfect video. I was trying to be perfect. And by neurotically trying to make it perfect, it wasn't as perfect as it could be. But my last work was a lot more personal because I was stopping to censor myself. Finally, I stopped censoring myself. I just put everything that was there. I would just press the record button, speak, and I would just put in the video, and that was it. I didn't censor myself. I didn't tell myself, oh, this is not good, this is too personal, this is too wrong. No, I just pressed the record button, I recorded it, that was it. I didn't try to micromanage and make it perfect. No, it was even better the fact that I was imperfect. It was even better the fact that it was personal. It took me 5 days instead of 5 months. I have a friend that wanted to start his own pickup company. He told me that about 1 year ago, right? And I asked him, well, why didn't you start it yet? That was like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. And he told me, well, I don't remember the excuse he told me, but he told me he wasn't ready yet. So I told him, well, you know what? When I started my Nameless page, I didn't even have a picture. I didn't even have a cover photo, but I still started it. And I told him, well, just start your page, man. You don't have to make it public, whatever, just start it. And he told me he couldn't do it. And it was the beginning of this month, he told me finally, hey, listen, I'm gonna write a business plan for my pickup company. I'll get back to you in the end of this month. So I'm like, sure, I'll waiting for it. I'm not ditching on my friend, I love my friend. But I understand, we're all struggling for it. We're all struggling for the same things. And it's the funniest thing, everyone in the pickup community wants to be a pickup coach so bad. Every single POA wants to be a pickup coach. Every single person in the self-development community wants to be a self-help coach. And they have those dreams and they want to start those channels, and maybe they release 5 videos and then they give up. They release 10 videos or whatever, they give up. Why? Because they have this idea of perfection. They think, I just have to be perfect. It has to be pristine. Why? Because they're afraid to realize they're not actually that good. They think they're good or whatever. What's gonna set you apart is not the perfection, it's the imperfections, right? You could say that this mask is an imperfection. You could say, well, he's wearing this mask because he's insecure. He doesn't want to show his real face. He doesn't want to show his identity. That's insecure. Maybe I'm afraid to show my real face. Like, I'm not gonna deny that. It's possible. But whether this mask is here or not, the content is still there. Whether someday this mask is taken off, my content will still be out there. I will still be putting my work out there. So it doesn't matter. Imagine if that mask, for example, was an imperfection and everyone could see it. It'll make you stand out. The imperfection will make you stand out. If you're just trying to be perfect in whatever industry you want to be in, then you're just never gonna start. So get to work. So in conclusion, how to solve perfectionism and all this self-criticism that comes with it. First of all, intense realism. Fuck. First of all, intense realism. Be realistic. Look at your mistakes and look at them for what they are. Acknowledge those mistakes for what they are. It's fine. We all make mistakes. Go through them. Make them. Make all those mistakes you want. And stop dreaming about where you'll be or where you are. Stop thinking that you're better than you are. You're not better than you are. You're just where you're supposed to be. Doesn't matter. On top of this, work in alignment with the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. If you just put in that 20% that will give you the 80%, then fucking cut the rest out. Seriously, you'll be a lot more effective. Try it out. If you don't believe the 80-20 principle, look around you. 80% of women are getting fucked in the asshole by 20% of the men. 80% of the money in the entire world is owned by 20% of the people. 80% of all your miseries in life comes from 20% of the people in your life that you should be cutting away. 80% of your emotional problems comes from 20% of the root causes of the things you're doing. 80-20, it's everywhere. Go about 90% of the way. And then the whole minutia of that, the rest of 10%, whatever. Focus on the essentials. You'll be a lot happier. Let go of control. Stop trying to make this work about you. And stop looking for approval from others. Only approval in yourself. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Just fucking do it. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching. This is my second video in a row. And I really gotta take a shit right now. So I'm actually serious. Leave suggestions in the comments below because I read every single one of them and I reply to every single one of them. And the best suggestion, I'll make a video about it probably. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. I love you guys. See you guys in the next video. We're all imperfect. Who the fuck cares? I'm gonna go take a shit now. Thank you, bye.